In the following lessons, you're going to learn about American consonant sounds. You're going to learn how to fix the most common mistakes that non-native speakers make when they're trying to speak English with an American accent. The reason people make mistakes in pronouncing some of these consonants, well, the first reason is some of these sounds may not exist in your native language. Another reason could be that even though the sounds do exist in your native language, they're pronounced slightly differently with an American accent. It could be that the tongue is in a slightly different position, or the lips are moving more firmly or more softly, or the vocal cords are vibrating slightly differently. All of these factors influence the American consonant sounds. Another issue could be that the sound exists in your native language, but maybe it doesn't exist at the end of the word or at the middle of the word. So when you're saying these letters, you don't fully pronounce them the way you should in an American accent. So in these videos, first you will see a demonstration on how to create the sound, and then you will hear individual words, and finally you will hear the words in sentences, and you'll have a chance to listen and to repeat. Okay, let's get started. The first thing that you need to know about consonant sounds is you must fully pronounce each sound. Don't take any shortcuts. Most of us are not really aware of what we're doing with our mouth when we're speaking our native language. We don't have to think about, is my tongue touching the top of my mouth, or is my lower lip touching my teeth? But when you're learning another language, it's really valuable to become aware of what's really happening to produce sounds. One of the biggest mistakes that non-native speakers make when they're speaking English is that they're not fully pronouncing every consonant. Let me give you an example. Instead of saying, I need $5, people might say, I need $5. That V in the word five just kind of disappears. So the first question I want you to ask yourself is, am I pronouncing every consonant? Am I moving my mouth? If you tend to speak quickly in your native language, be especially careful when you're speaking English. If you're used to moving your mouth really quickly, or maybe even mumbling and talking like this can be really dangerous. So let's develop an awareness of what really happens in the mouth when we're speaking. Well, sometimes we use our lips, right? So if I say b, 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 or p, 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 I'm putting my lips together. Both my upper lip and my lower lip are working, b. So when I say probably, we have a p, b, b, probably. My lips have to open and close 3 times. So don't take any shortcuts. Don't say probably, probably. Say probably. Fully move your lips and fully pronounce each sound. And I don't expect you to sound exaggerated and to speak like this. No, that's not what I'm talking about. What I mean is just take your time and move your mouth well. And sometimes we move our tongue. L, 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 n, n, n. So when I say the word general, general, my tongue is moving for the N and it's moving for the L. So when I say in general, my tongue moved 3 times. In general. 3 times touching the top of my mouth. And sometimes people get lazy and they say, in general, in general. In general, I go to the library. Pronounce every sound. In general, I go to the library. Okay, let's just practice pronouncing some consonant sounds by saying some numbers. For example, if I say the number 7, look what's happening in my mouth. 7. Let's write it down. We have a V and we have a N. V, v, So first, my lower lip is touching my upper teeth. V, And then my tongue is touching right behind my upper teeth. 7, 7. So don't get lazy and say 7, 7, but move your lips fully and pronounce every consonant. Let's try one more number. This is a difficult one for people who tend to speak quickly. Watch me. 12, 12. There's a lot of movement that happened here. First, there was a tongue, t, 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 touching behind my upper teeth. And then we round our lips for the W, tw, tw. And then the tongue goes up again for the L, l, l. And then the lower lip touches the upper teeth for the V, 12, 12. So I want you to count from 1 to 20 by yourself and practice moving your lips and ask yourself, what am I doing? What is really happening in my mouth? What's my tongue doing? What are my lips doing? And then make sure you speak clearly and well and fully move your mouth. One important way that we categorize consonants is whether they are voiced or voiceless. It's really important to know the difference between voiced and voiceless consonants for several different reasons. It affects the pronunciation of the ed endings, the past tense endings, and also the vowel length. Let me explain the difference between voiced and voiceless consonants. Let's look at the letter Z. And let's say the sound Z, Z. I want you to put your fingers on your vocal cords right here, and I want you to say Z, Z, Z. Do you feel a vibration on your vocal cords? You do. That's because Z is a voiced sound. We're using our vocal cords. Let's try another one. Let's try S. Let's try S. Put your fingers on your vocal cords again, and let's say S. Do you feel a vibration this time? No. Therefore, S is a voiceless consonant. So Z is voiced, S is voiceless. Here we have a vibration, here we don't have a vibration. Let's try that again. Z, S, Z, S, Z, S. Vibration, no vibration. Let's try another one. Let's compare V and F. Put your fingers on your vocal cords again, and let's say V. V, V, V. Now let's try F. Which one of these sounds has the vibration in the vocal cords, V or F? V, of course. Therefore, V is a voiced sound, and F is voiceless. Other than that, the V and the F are exactly the same. Look at my lips. V, F, V, F. The position of the lips is the same, except one is voiced and one is voiceless. One uses the vocal cords and one doesn't. So why is it so important to know whether a sound is voiced or voiceless? Well, one reason is because in some languages, the voiced sounds don't exist at the end of the word. They only exist in the beginning of the word or in the middle of the word. Let me show you. For example, look at the word 5. We have F and V. We have voiceless and we have voiced. So you have to change from up here to down here. 5. In some languages, that doesn't happen, and the common mistake would be for people to say fife. Give me $5 instead of give me $5. So if you go through the alphabet and if you go through all of the consonants, you can discover whether the sound is voiced or voiceless by feeling the vibration on your vocal cords. Let's practice a few more sounds and you can tell me whether the sound is voiced or voiceless. Okay, let's try T and D. T and D. T, 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 d, d, d. T, 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 d, d, d. Which one is voiced? D, D. D is voiced. So this one is voiced. and this one is voiceless. Otherwise, they're exactly the same. Watch. T, d, t, d. My tongue is doing exactly the same thing. So if you have a friend named Ed, make sure that you don't call him et. Don't change the voiced sound into a voiceless sound. Be really careful about that. Okay, the other reason that it's important to know whether a sound is voiced or voiceless is because the vowel that comes before the voiced sound is longer. Let me explain what I mean. Okay. Let's look at these two words. Ice, eyes. Listen to the difference. Ice, eyes. This S is actually pronounced as a Z sound. This is actually Z, Z. This is voiced, and S. This is voiceless. Therefore, the vowel sound that comes before is shorter here and longer here. Listen again. Ice, eyes. Ice, eyes. Let's try two more words like that. We have K and we have G. K is voiceless, G is voiced. Which vowel is going to be longer, the first one or the second one? The second one. Listen, back, bag. Back, bag. Let's practice some more words now. Safe, save. Notice how A was longer with the V than with the F. Let's repeat again. Safe, save. Pick, pig. Lock, log. Light, lied. Leaf, leave. Cup, cub. So remember, no vibration with voiceless sounds and vibration with voiced. S, z. Feel the vibration. Now we're going to talk about the TH sound, which is one of the most difficult sounds for people to make because it doesn't exist in most other languages. When we produce the TH, the tongue position is the most important thing you need to know. What is the tongue doing exactly? Well, the tip of the tongue is touching your upper teeth. And there's an airflow coming out while the tongue is touching the upper teeth. We have two THs. We have a voiceless TH and a voiced TH. And this is what they look like in the dictionary. These are the phonetic symbols. So the voiceless one is th. The voiced one is the. Let me teach you some really important things about what your tongue should be doing exactly. Be careful that your tongue doesn't touch too hard on your upper teeth, because if it does, then you're not going to have any air coming through. You're going to be blocking the airflow. So don't say the. Don't say bat. Say bath, bath. Make sure that the tongue lightly touch it, and make sure that there's a light vibration. Okay, let's try this. Let's try or F. You notice how you're not firmly biting down on your lip? You're not saying th, you're saying f. Do the same thing with your tongue touching your upper teeth. Now the position of the tongue is really important as well. If your tongue is too far inside and if it's not touching the teeth, the sound is going to be s instead of th. So the common mistake is when the TH sounds like S or Z. The voiceless TH, if it's not done correctly, might sound like an S. And the voiced TH, if it's not done correctly, might sound like a Z or the letter Z. Let me give you an example. Some people, instead of saying south, they say souse, souse, because they're pulling in their tongue too much. So make sure that your tongue touches the teeth. It doesn't have to be very visible. You don't have to say south. If you speak like that, it could really slow down your speech. If you say, thank you for that birthday present, that's just not realistic. So if you notice, American people don't really stick out their tongue very much when they're producing the TH, but they do touch the teeth with the tongue. Now, another warning, don't touch the teeth too hard. If you do that, it's going to sound like T. So it's not T, it's F. It's not D, it's V. Don't block the airflow with your tongue. Okay, let's practice some words now. Let's pronounce the TH when it's at the end of the word, because that's the easiest location for the TH. Bath. Keep your tongue out. Don't rush. Don't bring it back in. Don't say bath, bath. Keep it out. Bath. Let's try some more. Both. Both. One more. Math. Math. Keep the tongue out. Let it vibrate. Let's try the TH in the beginning of the word. Thank you. Thank you. Thursday. Thursday. Let's try it in the middle of the word. Father. Father. And the is voiced, so there's a vibration on our vocal cords. Father. Mother. Mother. All right, let's try some sentences now. I'm thirsty. Is there anything to drink in this place? I thought it was on Thursday at 3:30. This is my 4th month studying math. Both my mother and my father are healthy. I think Matthew lives in the north. Remember, it's about the position of your tongue. Make sure it touches the teeth lightly. Keep practicing. Let's talk about the American L sound now. First, let's produce the L and say la 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 la. What's your tongue doing? La 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 la. It's going up and down right behind your upper teeth. La la. All right. When the L is at the end of the word, it's a little bit more difficult than that. So the American L isn't released. So we don't say la. We don't say call me, call Bill. We say call Bill. So the tongue is relaxed and it touches right behind the upper teeth and it stays there. So the American L is prolonged. It's softer and longer. Oh. Repeat after me. Oh. So we don't say call, we say call. If you're an Asian speaker, be careful. In a lot of languages like Chinese or Korean or Japanese or Vietnamese, the L doesn't occur at the end of the word. So the common mistake would be to say call instead of call. So the mistake is to just keep the tongue down and not use the tongue at the end of the word. So don't say call me, say call me, call me. We want to hear a good, clear sound. Let's practice a few words. Feel, school. So don't say school, but don't say school. Say school. Keep your tongue up, directly behind the upper teeth. However, when the tongue is up, don't pull it farther back. It might start sounding like an R. So wall might start sounding like war if you start pulling it back. So keep it in the front, right here, right by your teeth. Call. All right, let's practice a few more words. Feel, ill, feel ill. Awful, film, awful film. So don't say film and don't say film. Say film. Little animal, little animal. Keep the tongue up right behind your teeth. Prolong the sound. Let's practice a few sentences now. I'll call you to tell you about the film. I'll call you to tell you about the film. I feel terrible about the political scandal. I feel terrible about the political scandal. I think I'll be able to handle it by myself. I think I'll be able to handle it by myself. You'll do well at school. You'll do well at school. So remember, you need to prolong the L, keep it right behind the upper teeth. Let's talk about the American R sound. I'm going to say a word two different ways, and I want you to ask yourself which one sounds like an American accent. Each one of these words that I say will have an R. Listen carefully. Full, for. Here, here. Teacher, teacher. Robert, Robert. The second one sounds like an American accent, right? So the most important thing that you need to know is that the American R is never silent. The first one that I did was a British R. In British English, people generally don't pronounce the final R, the R at the end of the word. So they say teacher. Americans say teacher. For more. So let's practice the American R. How do we make the American R? Well, what you have to remember is that the tip of the tongue should never touch the top behind your upper teeth. Don't say r, r, r. That's a foreign accent. So somebody from Russia might say, I'm from Russia, r. That's called a rolling R. That sounds like a foreign accent to American speakers. So the American R, the tip of the tongue curls and we pull it back. So the tip of the tongue is not touching, it's just pulled back, curled up a little bit. Let's practice. For, here. So the American R is never silent. It's not silent at the end of the word and also before another consonant. Let me explain. British people would say learn. Americans would say learn. So we have this RN combination, R plus consonant. Let me show you one more. RM. British would say German. Americans would say German.